Hello, everybody. It is, well, it's actually almost 1 o'clock, so I'm running a little late today. Apologies for that. It is episode 99 of Time Out Tuesday. So I guess next Tuesday will be my 100th episode of coming to you live every Tuesday with thoughts on, I guess, a fairly wide variety of things. Trying not to repeat after 100 episodes is getting a little tricky, but there's always something new happening and a new way of looking at things. So, no, I didn't run out yet. So today I was thinking a little bit about the fact that we're getting near the end of a year. I have a whole bunch of checklists for the couple businesses that we run for things that we have to do at the end of the year. Very common things, some accounting things, mileage tracking, inventory. And, it occurred to me that a long time ago in one of my previous Time Out Tuesdays, I had talked about, doing a personal inventory of yourself. And I was really gearing that a little bit more towards adults. And it's something that, we've been told, for years, update your resume on a regular basis. Most of the time that's so that you're prepared in case you ever need your resume. But I think it's actually for a more important reason. I think it's important to update your resume and kind of take a little bit of a personal inventory to remind yourself of what's happened over the past 12 months. So many things happen, so many changes happen. You learn new things, you develop new skills, you abandon old processes, you develop new processes for doing things. You change things about your life, your eating styles, all these different things. And they all happen over a long period of time. And very often it's hard, things kind of meld together and it's hard to kind of sort out and say, hey, wow, I really accomplished a lot this year. Or, maybe alternatively, I didn't accomplish the things I wanted to. So let me, get those front loaded for next year and kind of, begin my New Year's resolution type of thing. But it occurred to me that while that's something that adults do and should be doing on a regular basis, and I think also have the mental faculties to do, whereas kids I think have a much harder time looking at big pictures, and the younger they are, the harder that is. And one of the reasons why that became the topic of what I wanted to talk about today was that a couple of weeks ago, I digest things for a little while, but a couple of weeks ago, I was having a conversation with a student who was having what I would characterize as confidence issues. A very young student with a fairly decently high rank for someone his age, and a particularly good student, not only in the effort that he puts out, but just skills. He has aptitude for a lot of things related to the martial arts. And it was surprising to me that he was having a confidence issue because I knew all the things he knew how to do. I knew how much he knew how to do way above and beyond his rank. I knew the things that he was particularly adept at, and I knew some of the things that he was struggling with, and the things that he was struggling with were fairly minor things that were consistent with people at his rank. So I was a little surprised that he was having confidence issues until I kind of took a step back and said, hey, wait a second, I'm dealing with a very, very young kid right now who has a lot of aptitude and skills, but is probably too young to recognize it. So I tried to figure out a way of letting him know what I knew about him. And what I did was I asked him to come into the dojo, and we scheduled a little bit of time together. And I asked him to go over to our weapons rack and pull out every single weapon that he knows how to use, and bring it over and create a kind of a neatly organized little area on the floor with those weapons. And he did, and it took him quite a few trips to come back and forth and create that pile of weaponry. And then we sat down together, and I took out our curriculum, and I went through with him all the different things that he knew how to do. I asked him to kind of point out all the different things that he knows how to do, and where he thinks he's having trouble. And it was a big, long list of things that he knew how to do. It was monstrous. And then I pointed out to him where he was in the whole schema of white belt to black belt, and where it is in terms of time, how much time he's already put into classes, and how it is going to map out if he's training consistently and testing consistently. So I was able to point out to him his whole path all the way up to black belt. I was able to point out to him this enormous quantity of knowledge that he had. And then we also separated it sort of by what he really needs to know for his rank and what is way above and beyond his rank. And throughout that conversation, we got a little bit of perspective. And I was able to explain to him that, the things that he's being corrected on, which might be frustrating because they're breaking habits and things like that, they're fairly minor things when compared, if put on scales against how much stuff he knows. It really was very insignificant compared to the little difficulties that he's having on cleaning up some technique. And I think that that's something that's a really good idea for kids to be guided through by their mentors, by their teachers, and certainly by their parents. Kind of a quick, reminder of all the things that you maybe didn't know at the beginning of the year, but now know, things that you tried but maybe didn't like, things that you wish you had done more of, and even projects and dreams that you kind of wish that you had actually started but didn't really pull off. And I think it's a really good idea. I think it's a good idea to instill in our kids early on that it's a good idea to take some inventory of yourself. It'll make you, I think, more confident. Get it all out there on the table. It's okay to be a little cocky about the things that you're good at, as long as you're also building some humbleness into your life. So anyway, end of the year, take inventory of yourself, take inventory of what's going on around you, what kind of things you've accomplished, share that kind of habit with your kids. I think it's a good idea. And other than that, I hope everyone's already having a really nice holiday season. We're neck deep in it here at the dojo, a couple of weeks to testing. Holiday parties coming around the corner. We're excited for all these things. So we will look forward to seeing everybody at the dojo, and I hope you have a fantastic day today. Peace.